What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So it's that time again. We're going to take a look at how you guys feel about what's going on in this election, the 2026 midterm election. And so I've posted some polls, and we're going to take a look at those right now. So let's go ahead and get started. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video. If you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so it's all about the 2026 midterm election. We have some different questions that I've asked of you guys, and let's see what you guys have said about some of these different questions. So the first question, which Republican would be tougher for Tallarico in the general election? So we know right now it's going to be either Cornyn or Paxton. And so let's see. We have 2,000 people participating in this poll. John Cornyn, 31%. Ken Paxton, 7%. Neither, both look vulnerable, 55%. And then too early to tell, 7%. So the vast majority of you guys are saying that they both look vulnerable. I would agree with you guys. I think they're both vulnerable. I think Paxton has baggage, and that makes him vulnerable. I think Cornyn has been in office for a period of time, and people are they're over it. They're over these incumbents, and we might see voters use Cornyn as an example and vote him out. So he might not even make it past the runoff. Even if he makes it past the runoff, I think he's still going to struggle against Tallarico in a general election. So when we're looking at both of them in the latest polling, I just posted a video showing some of the latest polling. Tallarico has a lead right now. And we're talking about Texas, and Texas generally will vote for Republicans when it comes to the Senate, like statewide races. So this is going to be an interesting race in the general, but we're going to be watching the runoff to see what happens. And right now, I'm thinking, it's still very, very close, but we might see Cornyn pull it out. And if Cornyn does pull it out, I still think he's going to struggle in the general. Okay, so let's look at this poll you guys submitted. It says, what is the harder challenge for Democrats in 2026? You have 2,500 people participated in this poll. And the first one is holding all current seats. That's 10%. Flipping Texas. That's 52%. Flipping Ohio, that's 10%. Winning the final one seat, that is 29%. Now, I would have to admit, so flipping Texas, I think is going to be hard. I would admit. So if we're looking at this, if you're looking at comparing Ohio to Texas, I think flipping Texas is going to be harder than flipping Ohio. I think the main reason when it comes to Ohio, you have Sherrod Brown there. I think Sherrod Brown is probably going to be able to win in Ohio, or at least it's going to be a very, very close race. We have Tallarico in Texas. I think Tallarico will, it will be also close, but we don't know who he's running against. Is it going to be Cornyn? Is it going to be Paxton? Now, I still think Tallarico does have an advantage in Texas, but when we're looking at Ohio, the pathway that I've been talking about goes through Ohio. So based on everything that's going on with the economy, with farming and all of that, I think Democrats do have a better chance of flipping Ohio than they do of Texas. And now that last one, 29% flipping that last seat, I think that is going to be a challenge because look, Democrats need to flip 4 seats in order to take back control of the Senate. And I think when you look at some of the different states that are out there, I think North Carolina is not going to be that hard. I think Maine is also going to be one of those states that we could see flip for Democrats. Alaska is another state that we could see flip for Democrats. And then when we get to that last state, Ohio, Texas, although I think they both could flip for Democrats, I think that will be the hardest task, getting over that hump. And so winning those 3 seats, North Carolina, Maine, and Alaska, and then that final seat, Ohio or Texas, I think is going to be the biggest challenge for Democrats. But I think they can do it. And I think now we're starting to see some of the polls coming out showing that Democrats do have a chance to take back control of the Senate. You look at the prediction markets, they're showing it at a 50-50 right now. And so that's where I am when it comes to this poll. Okay, next poll, it says, what is driving Democrats' improved Senate outlook the most? You have 1,200 people participated in this poll. It says better generic ballot numbers, 4%, stronger candidates, 15%, Republican vulnerabilities, 49%, changing voter sentiment, 33%. Now, I would say, looking at this, I think changing voter sentiment would probably be at the top. And the reason why is because you have a lot of voters out there right now that are upset. They're upset with the economy. They're upset with this conflict that we have going on in Iran. They're upset with a lot of different things, just looking at the current administration, looking at inflation, looking at all the stuff that's going on. you have a lot of voters you have some voters, I won't say a lot, you have some voters that voted for Trump and they're now saying, you know what, I think I made a mistake. And you see more and more of these people coming out saying, I think I made a mistake. And so those voters, they might not vote for a Democrat, but they might not show up in the midterm election. And if they don't show up in the midterm election, and then you also have Democrats that are very energized because they've been sitting on the sidelines watching all of this happen because they really, they don't have any power in Congress. And so they can't really do anything. And so they've been sitting on the sidelines for all this time. You have these voters that have been sitting on the sidelines just watching all this take place, and they're energized now. And we've seen that in Texas. We've seen that in some of these special elections. We're seeing Democrats outperform Republicans in a lot of these different special elections. And so I think voters are at a point now where they want some change. They want at least a check on the president, because the president doesn't have a check on him right now. The president can pretty much do whatever he wants because Congress is not saying, no, you can't do this. They're not stopping him from doing anything. And so I think the voters are starting to look at this and say, we have an opportunity here. And I think they're saying that we can have Democrats run the House and maybe even the Senate. That way Democrats can check the president. And so the president just can't do whatever they want to do. They at least have to go to Congress and ask for permission for some of these things. Because remember, Congress carries the purse. They have the money. And so if you just let the president do whatever he wants, that means the president has absolute power and the president can just spend wherever he wants to spend. And, Congress will say, okay, yeah, just go ahead and do it. And so getting back to this polling, I think voter sentiment is what's really changing the outlook that we're seeing. Okay, looking at the next poll here, it says, which state is the biggest Senate battleground right now? And this is 2,700 people participating in this poll. And we have Texas at 76%, Ohio at 11%, North Carolina at 8%, Maine at 5%. And I would have to agree with this. When it comes down to it, the biggest battleground states, or the state that, and when I say battleground state, what I'm really referring to is the state that is really going to be challenging for both sides, for both Democrats and Republicans. And I do think it's going to be Texas. And I think if Democrats can win in Texas, we're going to see a blue wave. If they win in Texas, we're going to probably see them win in Ohio. We'll definitely see them win in North Carolina, win in Maine, and they might win some other states too. We might see them win in Iowa. We might see an independent win in Montana. We might see an independent win in Nebraska. We might see them win in Alaska. And so if we do see a situation where Democrats win in Texas, we're probably going to see that wave. We're probably going to see a lot of different seats change hands, as well as the House. We might see a 40-seat gain, 40-plus seat gain for Democrats in the House. So we're going to be watching very closely when it comes to Texas. You have Tallarico. He's going to be running against Cornyn or Paxton. And I think it is going to be a very close race. And this could be the opportunity. This could be Democrats' best opportunity to win in Texas, the best opportunity they've had in years to win in Texas. So that's what I think, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more. And remember, stay informed, stay engaged, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.